Today I'll show you how to install our module to have CarPlay or Android Auto on your Infiniti car. This model would work on all Infiniti cars from 2015 until 2019. And I'll list all the models later when I post the video on YouTube. But for now, I'll start by telling you about all the steps needed to basically start dismantling all this centerpiece here and the panels, so we can install the module. You need like simple tools. You need a Phillips screwdriver, and you might need like a panel remover or like some plastic sticks, so they could help you during the process to remove the panels, the side panels. I will start by trying to remove this part here, and then we'll try to jiggle it. Then this one is off. Same goes for the one on the driver's side. And don't worry guys, just make sure when you try to remove it from the very back end of it. Don't try to remove it from this side, because you might break it, because you have to jiggle it and push it back during the process. So right now we're just gonna remove the leather that covers the shift handle, and you have to listen, and you're gonna hear a click, and you have to remove. There's this clip, that metal clip that you need to remove. You might not be able to remove it with your hand, so try to use something to just push it, and you have to try not to use it, try not to lose it. And then you got that, remove that, and then you're gonna have to remove the cup holder. We're gonna take a different angle here when we were shooting the video, because I want to show you like the clips that are here before removing the cup holder. And you have to push a little bit, just like softly, don't force it too hard. Just, you know, you're gonna start seeing the metal clips here and the plastic and metal clips. Now that I showed you all the clips here, the side clips, there are some clips that are underneath the cup holder that you need to pay attention to, and you basically need to enter like a screwdriver, and you just try to push it upwards, and you're gonna hear click. So guys, we have the same thing here. We have the same clips, just so you see or understand how this works. There are clips on both sides, so you also do the same thing. You insert a screwdriver and you try to push it upwards, and the clip will just pop open. Now guys, we try to remove the cup holder, and we'll try to tilt this thing upward and take it slightly to the side, so there's a clip that will open to the right. You see here, that's the clip right there. So voila. And now we'll have to remove the screws here, the bolts. Now we can remove this, but in order for us to do this, we have to turn the car on and put it on neutral, so we don't have any obstacles on the way, namely the shift handle. And we make sure that we have a foot on the brake, because we'll put it on a neutral here. I just want to remind you guys, there are some clips here that we also need to remove, so make sure, don't panic if you hear some clicks, because it's normal. So guys, now that we have popped the clips open, we'll have to remove the centerpiece and put it to the side, and we'll put it that way, and then we put the car on drive, on park, and then we turn it off. guys, now we need to remove the fans. Try to be gentle with it because we don't want to break anything. We will have to again try to remove some screws here. We have to remove these one here. There's one here and one here. Now that we have made sure that we removed all the screws, we'll have to remove this, the lower monitor, and we have to tilt it all the way up because there are clips up in here, so we don't want to break anything. I'll try to jiggle it so we don't want to break anything. And now we have it. And now there are some cables and connections that we have to unconnect or disconnect, and just you guys make sure when you unconnect the small white one, there's this like thing here, the plastic thing. You have to just push it down a little so it can open, so you don't break it. Same goes for the bigger one. Now that we removed it, we can remove it and put it somewhere else. Now we have to remove this. And this is where all the work will be, pretty much. Now again, we do the same exact thing, and there are some connections that are behind the upper monitor, upper screen, that we have to remove as well. Same concept, guys. There's a plastic thing that you have to push a little down, and then it should come off easily. You can hear the click. And the colored one, you don't have to worry about them to mistake them or confuse them later because they are color coded. So, you know, all of this should be relatively easy when putting them back together.
So once we have our screen removed, we are going to install this motherboard inside and the video cable. The tools you will need is a Phillips screwdriver and a hook tool handle. So first we are going to remove the side brackets located on the right and left side of the screen using the Phillips screwdriver. When you are putting it back together, brackets are marked left and right, left being the closer to the driver's side. So now we'll have to remove the back portion of the screen, held by 12 bolts, 4 of which are here, including the one under the corner sticker. And then there's 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, and 2 on each side, as you can see here. So we are going to start by removing them. Next, we will have to remove the aluminium back of the screen. There's a bolt inside right in the middle of the original motherboard, which you will have to unscrew. Next, you can use your fingers or the hook tool to help you, but I'm going to use my nails and fingers to remove these video connections. So there's the first one here. You just flip it up and disconnect it. This one you have to pull on the plastic towards the top to release the clip, and then you can disconnect it. This one you have to lift up the small black part to release the connection and disconnect it. And here's another wire, just pull it towards the top now. Now you can remove the motherboard, but before doing so, make sure to disconnect the fan. Just press on the clip and then remove it. Now we are going to take our motherboard and place it under this metal clip. We are going to take the original connection, make sure the clip is released, and plug it into our motherboard. Once it's in, we are going to clip the white connection with the original motherboard later. Next is this big one, so you are going to release the clip and put it inside, and then close the clip. Just make sure that the connection is inserted properly and the edges fall into the right place. Now we are going to take the original motherboard and place it above ours. But first we are going to plug in this small connection on this side, because once you place the original on top, it will be tough to get it in. Here you have to make sure that this connection is coming out, and we are also going to connect the fan connection here. Now you need to line up the holes so it goes back in its original position, including this middle one. Once the holes are lined, you are going to need to press it down and install the screws back again. I'm going to plug this back in. It's the antenna and our two video cables, so this one is the big one. Once it's in position, close the clip. The same goes for the small one. We also insert it and close the clip. Once we are done, the last step left for us is our video cable, which we will later connect to our module. You are going to plug it into this port right here, and you are going to make sure that the flat end faces the surface. Once it's plugged in, you need to move it a little bit to the side. Next, we are going to put everything back together, but we have to be a little bit careful here not to squeeze the wire or damage it. Once everything is in place, we are going to go ahead and put back all the bolts. The last step is to put back the brackets onto the screen. At this point, the radio looks exactly as the original, but you now have an extra cable for the video signal that will connect to the module. So guys, now we will have to insert this cable here, and I'll show you how to do it in a second. We'll have to basically feed in this end of the cable all the way down behind of the stereo and the radio system. So basically we'll have to push this a little bit upward. So basically when you start feeding it, you'll start seeing it behind, and you see here, you'll start seeing it behind all these cables and connections. You'll start seeing it, and you have to basically work your way out all the way down until you get here, until you start seeing it, and you will have to basically make it come from here and make it come all the way down here so we can connect it to the module later. Just remember guys that you have to keep this one pushed out a little so you can easily feed all the cables that you need to connect to the module. As you can see here, now we have to connect this one with another harness cable, this end. Now we'll have to connect the mic. Try to feed the mic from here.
we'll get this one from here first. Now we just chop off the axis. Now we'll try with this one and try to feed it all the way down just like the other one we did previously. Now we have this one here, this harness cable, and we have to connect this end, and this one comes with the module. We have to connect it with the cable that we just fed in all the way down, and we have to connect this end with this end, okay? After connecting this one here, we'll have to connect this end, the female end, with the original connection, this one, that was connected originally to the upper monitor. And I'll show you how. Okay, and now we'll have to connect this one, the one that we got from the harness cable that comes with the module, with the upper screen, and connect the rest of the connections to the upper screen just like they were before. Guys, so once we have managed to connect everything here and we have the mic set up and everything, we will have to basically feed the LCD out cable, this one, down here so we can connect it to the module later. So now guys, as you can see, the cable is fed down and it's coming right from there, reaching all the way here. We'll basically have to tuck in all the cables, the connections that we just made from here. We have to tuck them in the transmission this way so we don't create any obstacles to the original connections or the transmission. So now guys, we'll have to connect back everything. Everything is color coded, guys. So you see here the blue, the black, the brown, the green, this black connection. They are relatively easy to connect. You see here, all of them are color coded. So the blue goes with the blue, the black goes with the black, yada, yada, yada. So guys, as you can see, I just connected all the cables and now the screen, the upper screen, is ready to be put back in its original position. As you can see, this harness cable now has the female side connected to the original side instead of this one, and this one is coming from the harness cable that comes with the module. Alright guys, so we're back to you, and to finish the installation of this unit. We are sorry we ran into some problems. The driller seems to be dying and the battery is dying, so we're just going to drill a hole here in the armrest, and we will try to, because we need to make some connections here, and just to, you know, like kind of continue or complete the installation of the unit. So we'll try to find a sweet spot somewhere here, and it does not need to be, you know, take your time. You don't have to, you know, be very intrusive or try to, you know, like cause any harm for the connections that are already there. Just, you know, take your time to find the place, and once you find it, you know, just start drilling. Alright guys, so now we have some other cables and connections that we need to make them go through the hole that we just popped in the center armrest. We will start with this one, the video cable, and we will try to make it go through here. I mean, you know, like the car needs some cleaning after this, but I mean, nothing is major and everything can be cleaned out very easily once we're done. And then we will we have an auxiliary cable that we also need to make it go through here, same way. And in the unit you also get a conversion connection, which you will need to connect the auxiliary to, and then you will get a USB from the other end, which you need to basically insert in the USB slot in the center armrest, so you get audio. All right, so now we need to connect them, and this one basically gives you the wired option for the CarPlay or the Android Auto on your phones, whether it's an iPhone or an Android phone. And now we'll start to connect the cables in the unit that we already have. So now guys, I want you to just pay attention to the unit. Again, first thing first, we need to install or attach the Wi-Fi antenna, which is very easy, very straightforward to do. And then we will start to have other connections coming from this side and that side. We will start with the connections that we have from here, from this side, from the right side, and I guess they are relatively easy to find. We'll start inserting them, and it's so straightforward. It's very easy. It's not that hard inserting them. Just want to make sure that they are installed tightly, and then we have an LCD out here, just to connect that thing here. And then we will have our USB here, it says, and then we connect that one here. All right guys, so now we get the auxiliary and we connect it into the harness that we managed to fit all the way from up here all the way down here next to our unit, and that's it. And then after we manage to put everything together, try not to keep a lot of cables hanging in the armrest. Try to put all the cables at the bottom. Now the mic is going to be a little problematic. We forgot to just put the mic in the unit. So now that we've made sure everything is connected right, we just need to make sure that there are no loose ends and there are no, you know, no cables in the way when we tuck the module in here. So now we need to put back this centerpiece. We're gonna need to turn the car on. And then we put it on neutral. And it will say neutral there. Just keep in mind you have to keep your foot on the brakes, because you don't want anything bad to happen. So once you're got that thing here, just try to jiggle it, try to find the right way for it to get in. Nice and easy. The fan now, the right one here, and gonna try to push it, pull it back. No, come on. And the same goes for the rest one. Now we'll put the car back on before that. Just make sure everything in its place, in the right place. Here now we make sure that all the clips went back to their original place. We put the car back on park and we turn it off. I'm gonna put the shift knob back. Insert this clip. Put back the leather, and you need to make sure that you hear that click. That's it. Should be good. Then what we have left is just to install or put back the cup holder. Try the module, the unit, and see if it's working. So guys, now as you can see, we have audio off, and first thing we need to do is and it popped.
It's working.
Just popped automatically. But usually if you want to try to make it work, you have to connect it through CarPlay